Okay, another week, another stream. Let's see if I'm able to do a nice one again. I've had some pretty consistent good streams. I'm enjoying talking to everybody and seeing who's doing what, going over all the different stuff we've been talking about in manga. And especially with this last week, there has been a lot of really cool stuff to come out. What's up, man? Let me see who's already here. Hello, JK Network. What's up? Mercenary, how's it going? Jared Punch, how's it going? How are you guys today? I've been really want to talk about some of the chapters this week, and not just the hold on a second, I got a message. Not just the fairy tale chapter, honestly. Black Clover, obviously, another one to put in there. But if you've read Jujutsu Kaisen, like the latest Jujutsu Kaisen chapter was pretty fire. Not gonna lie, I loved it. I thought it was really great. I was hyped from the last chapter, but I didn't know how intense it was gonna get already. And the character in question, Satoru Goujo, I don't know how to pronounce. Obviously his name's Japanese, and it's easier to pronounce when it doesn't have all the symbols over the letters. But obviously at that point, even though I know the letters, it's hard to pronounce them. I'm not gonna act like I speak Japanese or anything, but definitely check that out if you haven't yet. That series has been pulling up. Oh my God, is that Larry Jones? What's up, Larry Jones? Yeah, Jujutsu Kaisen is really good. The thing about Jujutsu Kaisen, I think, makes it very interesting is its take on villains. I think its villains are its best point, and that's if you were to advertise it to say somebody who was wondering what makes it interesting, just bring up the fact that it has really good villains. I think that's one of the better talking points of getting in it, because you could try and argue, uh, you know, the main character, what makes the main character special, what makes whatever, the story, the setting. I think just going right for the villains is definitely one of the better points to grab at. So just putting that out there. If you were like gonna try and talk to somebody about Jujutsu Kaisen, definitely bring up the fact that it's got them intense builds. Mojito, I've taken a really strong liking to Konami, which is why I'm a little bit sad over the latest chapter. Worried boy, he I didn't really care for him at first. I thought he just looked cool, but his design of it being a first alluring piece. But after that, I think he's really been picking up as a interesting character all around, because a lot of the villains, it's like when you get into a series and you see all the good guys go through certain types of progression and development. Instead, the villains are getting it, and I really like that. I think that's pretty cool, and just a really interesting aspect for Jujutsu Kaisen to be pulling, at only after a year of coming in. And I think that's going to be a really good spot to grab more readers. Is just everyone likes a good villain. I mean, that's factual. Everyone likes to see a badass villain. It's just such a nice way to turn them towards, if you bring up the fact that just Mojito, just show them some panels of Mojito doing stuff, and you have a good chance of pulling people over to Jujutsu Kaisen. Like, for real, it's been pretty good, and I really wish that people would get more into it, because I know a lot of people come to my channel for Black Clover and Fairy Tail. Obviously, I'm able to look at my analytics. I see the views that go on the videos, and I think my Fairy Tail and Black Clover videos do much better than I would have expected for my channel, because people know how much I enjoy talking about them. I put a lot of thought into the discussions, and I think that there's a lot more going on in them than a lot of people give them credit for. Like, if you've seen my recent video I did last week, was it last week? It might have been, yeah, it was last week. My video on Natsu and all his character development, progression, and following of what Ignia can do for to further that. I think that a lot of people wouldn't pay as much attention to that, and I think they would just kind of shrug it off. But just I'm very interested in the characters. I really like what's going on, and to see them progress. And whenever a new character shows up, I'm very interested in seeing what this character is going to bring going forward. And even though Iggy already like is skyrocketing on my list, because he's just so badass. He's cool. I really liked his introduction. Obviously, introductory pieces are very important for characters, and his was just awesome. But also the fact of thinking what he's going to do to in relation to Natsu. How is Natsu going to develop on it? Because they have a very important relationship, just based off the fact you have Ignil's true son and Ignil's adopted son, and I do think there wasn't. I do think that in that first moment when he's talking about it and you see his fist shake a little and he just talks about how he just wanted to test his power. I think there is a level in there of wanting to meet his father. I mean, Ignil was a big deal even for dragons because he was on the side for he pretty much was the big front guy for pro pro human dragons. And even if Ignia doesn't agree with that, it doesn't seem like he cares. It seems like he just like whatever. But he definitely seems like he does see value in Ignil's name. And I think given that relation and the fact that they had to flee from Acnologia, I think there's a lot behind that carries more towards what we're going to see from him. Let's see. Speaking fairy, let me see what people are saying. Speaking fairy said that Gadget likes Cobra. I've gone on 100 Years Quest to set up Urza, Lucia, and Grace since they think they're dragons. I think it would have been interesting just to see more Dragon Slayers, but I think it wouldn't have been right for Natsu. I mean, if they run into him, I guess it'd be different. But they would also have to know. It wouldn't make sense unless you knew they were dragons beforehand. And I think the fact that you're not allowed to tell people about what goes on in the 100 Years Quest for signing in order to do it makes a lot of sense. And it definitely also pulls in the fact that they're kept like super secret. There's only a handful of people outside of the outside of Giltina that know about them, because there's a bunch of continents that we haven't explored yet much in Fairy Tail, and we've mostly seen just Fiore and bits of the rest of Ishgal. We haven't seen too much of Alakatasia, and we don't even know how many there are. Like I think Hiramashima should get or Atsuaeda should do a world map and just kind of get an idea. I mean, it's not vital. I'm just curious. Is what I'm just trying to put out there for that point. Oh, what's up, Major? Do you think Igneo will be the final dragon they fight? No. I think he'll be like the second last because I think the thing about the last one, I think he'll be much more of like I think that dragon will be much more of like an evil villain, and I have the theory that the dragon eaters are led by one of the dragon gods, maybe trying to wipe the others out. Because one of the things about Acnologia, I still have the theory that he was that the reason he didn't act for so long, and you see him kind of wandering around aimlessly, like in the end of Dragon Cry, and the fact that Guildarts ran into him on 100 Years Quest, so obviously they have to relate. I think it would make more sense that the dragon gods, they don't act because even though if they can take one of the other ones, all it would take is two of them to team up on each other. Like you get that 2v1 and you're screwed. And I think maybe the one of them is maybe the dragon eaters, which would explain why these guys out of nowhere are so powerful, how they work, how they would know about the other dragon gods. And I think it would fit a really good villain spot because so far the dragon gods we've seen so far, Mercphobia, and Ignia don't feel like villains. Mercphobia is more like a reformed bad guy, and Ignia it seems to be more like independent. Like he doesn't seem to really care much of either side. He kind of just seems to just do whatever he feels like doing, and at that point, I think one of them has to at least be evil. One of the dragons, I think, has to be a bad guy, and the last one I think would be the best fit because after Igni and Natsu fight, maybe they put their differences aside and they end up kind of having like a better relationship. Maybe not like best buds, but kind of understand and respect each other, and then they team up. Like you see them teaming up, that'd be awesome. Igni and Natsu team up to fight fight the leader dragon god. I think that'd be pretty badass, and it would just definitely be a story that I would enjoy seeing. Like because I don't want. The thing is, right now, I don't want Ignia to die, and I don't want Mercphobia to die. I mean, if I had to pick, I'd pick Ignia to live it out, given Mercphobia's condition right now. But I would prefer if Ignia lived and became more of a larger character than just an eventual bad guy for Natsu to fight, or eventual more of an antagonist. He doesn't, like I said, he doesn't seem evil, but he's definitely someone for him to go against. Hmm. How's it going, Major? Nothing much. Just talking about some manga chit chat and seeing what's going on today. seems like a really quiet day. It doesn't seem like many people are interested in showing up, but I'm still gonna stream regardless for probably a good hour. Talk to the people and see how they're doing. We're gonna talk about the tweet, yeah, the stuff between Natsu and Lucy. Yeah, I understand where Hiromishima's going. Like you can tell that he was building it up for a while, but I think when it was decided to do the 100 Years Quest continuation, that it was better to develop it more going into that than just kind of end the series with them getting together. Because even though they've been progressing, it wasn't like I don't think it's been like straight up like should be jumped into full on romantic relationship. And I feel like that's now a good spot to go towards because of with the way that 100 Years Quest is at right now, with my theory of Natsu and Lucy and them being connected through ED&D stuff, living magic, I think it would be a nice point to really move that forward. I think that'd be pretty good. Yeah, it's a pretty slow Sunday. I don't know. I think I feel like a lot of people are pretty tired. Like even on Discord, I haven't seen a lot of activity from people. I haven't seen a lot of people going at it. Maybe some like voice chats, but not a whole lot of like commotion. So I'll probably do like a good hour, see what's going on. I'm pretty happy. I'm almost at 800 subs. 1,000 is on the horizon, and I'm hoping to just keep going, keep moving forward, take that next step, and progress. And I'm really looking forward to getting there, and remembering all the nice people that helped me get there. It's a little rough because I'm starting to get to that point where I don't know. Like I used to be able to like remember everybody that like would show up and like normal subscribers. I remember like the points from back then, but I'm starting at the point where I've actually had a pretty good stride recently, and so like I said, I'm trying to get to that. Starting to get to that area where I can vaguely remember people, but I can't remember if they're new or they've been here for a while, unless they're like frequent. Like these guys in here. You got Jared Punch, JK Network. You got all these guys. Mercenary, Fairy Tale Chapter 532, colored cover shows. Yeah, all the nice ships on it. Well, I think he was because it's obvious that they're gonna be a thing eventually. I think it was just the fact that now they're pretty much set in stone of getting to that point that people have been waiting for. I mean, obviously people like ships. I'm fine with ships if they're logical and they're not just pulled out of nowhere for fun. What's up, Andres? How's it going? Joshua Light, how's it going, dude? Oh, what ship and shit fairy tales movie? Yeah, I talked to somebody earlier about this. It's probably between Natsu and Lucy or Gadget and Levy, because you got the main character one. They've been going since the start, but Gadget and Levy also I think is a really good one. I do like the relationship. I like Gadget a lot. He's progressed a lot as a character. He's a cool dude. I've always liked Gadget, even when he was a bit of an antagonist. I've always enjoyed his character being around. What I actually am very curious about is what is Ignea's area going to be like? That's something that it's more in like the further back of mindset of we'll see it eventually, and it's not like it's a big plot piece, but I am very curious to what his territory is going to be because we have Mercphobia. Mercphobius is just like a nice area of a town with an underwater temple, and it's very peaceful because he wants to be a more peaceful guy. But we're gonna have this dragon guy who just really wants to fight somebody to the death, and apparently is just really into brawling and really wants to scrap. So his I think will be a much more interesting area to explore, just because it's gonna probably be way more different, way more aggressive, and just all around give a different tone to what's to give a different take on the other dragon gods, because already the only two we've seen, they're wildly different. You have one who was a former bad guy, a former, I don't want to say villain, but former threat, didn't give a shit about humans, was calling it all about himself, doing whatever he felt like. Uh, and now you have him reformed, kind of just being wanting to be a nicer guy and atone for all the bad things he did. And you have Igneo, who's just like, all I want to do is fight people. Like I'm not in it to be evil. I'm not in it to help anybody. I'm kind of in it just for myself. And you get a large contrast of mindsets, because the only out of all the dragons we've met, like a lot of them were more towards humans. They're a lot more comfortable with themselves. They still had that dragon tone to them, but they weren't as they weren't as kind of wild and aggressive as a lot of them. Like Acnologia kind of just he had his own set. Like he just wanted to kill dragons and dragon slayers, and he didn't seem to on a large scale. Like on the large scale, he wanted to obviously get rid of humans. He just wanted to pretty much end the world. But he didn't just go around attacking human settlements. He didn't go around doing a lot of the more like I just want to destroy stuff until it was time for it. Whereas like Ignia just kind of is like if it gets to his spot of like fighting, like he just wants to strong arm Natsu into battling. And he has that more of like what I'm talking about, where a dragon, where it's not like you're good or bad. It's just, I do what I want, and, what I want might be good at some point, and what I want might be bad at some point. But then you look at someone like Animus, who Animus was just like hated humans. He just wanted dragons to be back in power. You have, well, Elves is not a true dragon. But you know what I mean. Zirconia, who's just like pro dragon stuff, but he's just like, whatever. I can still chat with humans. I don't like them, but whatever. I thought he was, but obviously he was more of a comedic one. I would have liked to see more interactions between the dragons of that time versus like now. I think they definitely have some really nice interactions they could kind of lay out, because it was cool in the last chapter to see just to see some dragon kind of culture given to us, with the fact that the dragons have a breeding season and they pretty much just meet up, mate, and then like go their separate ways. And the females raise their young, and the dudes just aren't involved at all. They just kind of like deuces and leave. I thought that was pretty cool for explaining to us a bit about their culture and just like what goes on between dragons that make them different from humans, and just general basic stuff. I thought was pretty cool. I gotta see what else. I gotta scroll up. I rant a little bit. Let me see what else people had to say. His heart belongs again to darkness. Yeah, I think Natsu is definitely going to be honing that Ethereus power, because if you watched my video on explaining how this form works and how it exists, it was weird to imagine it just disappeared, and I didn't think that was the case. And it looks like his Ethereus stuff is in fact still present, still coming back, and he's gonna have to hone the control over both of them, in order to progress further. And I do think that's gonna be nice for Natsu. I think the fact that if he's got this not only like powerful dragon aspect, but also this very hard to control like vengeful aggressive demon aspect, it's going to be really important and another nice step for his character, for him to learn to control them. Given this character, who normally doesn't like to control himself, he gets in fights, he just kind of likes to become like a wildfire of a brawler. And just knowing that he's got to have some control, like we've seen him develop some in fighting already, and it'll just be a nice little aspect to him. I think it'll be good. I like a lot of Natsu's character development that are in small ways. I mean, he's obviously got some bigger ones, like obviously in that video I did talking about his character development, but a lot of the smaller ones I think are pretty nice too. Just given it's just nice tweaks of what we knew about him before. Uh, who, in your opinion, should Asta end up with between his harem? Oh, definitely. I like Noelle. I like all of them, but I do think Noelle is probably the better choice, because unlike some, the thing about it is they both had that kind of shunned and ridiculed and mocked past, which I really liked. The Asta was able to kind of get linked up with Noelle because of it, and I do root for Noelle. I like all of them, but I think Noelle's the best choice. Which one I would pick? The one that I think is probably if you were to look at it, I think just like looking at what you can get out of it, Mimosa's probably the best. Mimosa's probably the best choice for Asta on a larger scale. I think character-wise, it should be Noelle. I think if you were just kind of pick, I don't know what most optimal, you'd go with Mimosa. Poor Rebecca. I don't think she's got a chance. But I mean, she has a chance because her and Asta actually relate a lot. They have a lot in common. Sally has no chance though. Sally has absolutely no chance. Which world would you live in, Fairy Tail or Black Clover? Uh, I mean, in Black Clover you have a better chance. If I had to pick, like, if you had to pick between them, I would probably pick Black Clover, just because the thing in Fairy Tail is you're not guaranteed to have magic. You might just end up some guy without magic, but everyone in Black Clover has at least some magic. that was always my argument for like if someone said, "Would you live in this world?" You know, pick a world. I always would pick something where you have a good chance of stuff, like something like Yu-Gi-Oh or Pokemon, where it's like literally all you need is like $10 and you could go start your journey. You know, definitely. You know, you gotta keep that in mind of what if you got screwed over? Like, what if you picked like, oh, Marvel or DC, and you were just some random guy in the street, and then you got crushed by a building from some big superhero fight. That would suck ass. No one want that. I hope Nashi gets my Radiant Dragon. Wait, gets my Radiant Dragon's magic idea as her magic. Nashi. Wait, Nashi. Oh yeah. Oh, Kiruma Shima said it would be kind of like a merging, and he should like fire with star in it. Could you like? I think like a star dragon would be pretty cool, or like a celestial dragon. That'd be pretty sick. And it probably wouldn't be more heat based, but more like mystic. I don't know. I'm wondering how he would work that in. Because one of the things I do think that next generation stuff will go, if it does go down. I think it will go down is the thing. I think it'll go after this. And the thing about Ueda, I legitimately, and I don't mean this in a disrespectful way for him, I think that continuing Fairy Tail as long as he possibly can is his best choice. Because I've looked at his other work. I don't know if it's good or bad. I haven't read it. I've just kind of looked at like I think he had like 2 short series before this, and he went from doing that and probably I don't know what magazine it was, but and then getting into one of the biggest. I think it's like 27 or something last check, not including like spin-offs. I think just the main Fairy Tail manga has. I think it's like 27 out of the top 30 manga ever. It'd probably be a couple spots further up if they counted all the spin-offs, but that's still really, even if it's like you look at it, like 27. I mean, it's not One Piece. Like, I mean, 27 out of thousands is still really impressive. And I mean, just the main series, it's like 60 something million last check. That's very impressive. And so now this guy's name is tagged onto it, and I think it'd be really smart for him to continue onward with Fairy Tail. Pull out the 100 Years quest, do stuff with Diablo, do stuff with Livieras, do stuff with Ankh Salam, and then continue on to like next gen. Because the thing is, they could easily do next gen, and then you could just get straight like your own raw level of creation, which would be pretty cool. I'd be perfectly chill with reading like seeing that, because you could also like think about not just like new characters and maybe just explore more, but maybe it's more about exploration rather than the select quests. Because the thing about it, Fairy Tail is it's more about you go on a quest and then that takes you somewhere, whereas something where it's like raw adventure and exploration, which is more of like Eden Zero. Um, and I think it would be cool maybe you see something that with the next gen one, but also the fact that you would see like all these old characters and you see what they're like as adults, like see what adult like well, he's already an adult. See what old man Natsu is like, see what old man Gray is like, and just pulling in to how they are now. Because I know a lot of people give like Boruto like a lot of hate and trash on it. One of the things I really liked about it that I will always stand by is just like when you see anytime Naruto flexes on people, like when you remember how like much people treated him like shit and how like low key he was, and then like you see that part in the tuning exams when he has to stand up for when Momoshiki and whatever the other dude's name showed up, and just like imagine that point when you're just like you're Boruto, and for years you've just been like, oh fuck, my daddy sucks, and then you finally see him just flex his chakra, and you're like, Jesus Christ, and everyone there instead is just like, oh, okay, we're safe. Naruto's gonna crush down on these guys, and I thought that was pretty cool, and I'd like to see that more with I'd like to see that with Natsu. I think would be really cool, and just like have that a similar moment when it's just like you see Natsu arrive, and instead of it's like, oh cool, he's the main character, he's gonna do main character stuff, he's gonna, they're in good shape now. It's just the fact that he's now, putting him in that spot where he's like the top guy, he's a big deal, and that him showing up, even on a villain standpoint, you're just like, oh shit, I should probably be cautious, because like even if you were a Naruto, like, or and I guess now Boruto, you probably like they know who Naruto is, and you could be doing whatever, but the second you could be fighting Konohamaru and be like, oh, this guy's he's a pretty good Jonin of the Least Village. But the second Naruto shows up, you're probably like, uh-oh, I'm in trouble. I should probably leave. And I would like to see that with I like to see that with Natsu. I think that'd be pretty awesome. People just give him that mad respect. Like he's starting to get more of a position because there's the whole fact that now people are giving him credit for some of this stuff because we never really saw a whole lot of people like acknowledging the big stuff that Natsu's done. Because it seems like only a handful of people really give him the cred for. Well, I mean it was a group effort, but any of the big stuff really when you think about it that he's done, he doesn't really get respect for. He does you don't give him that cred. You don't give him the honor points. The fact he's done all this big stuff. He's taken down all these big guys. He's saved this X many people. And I mean Naruto doesn't have the same. I don't think he really got any real recognition in that matter until the battle with Pain, and then people started to really give him that much cred for what he did. Because that's one of the things that always kind of off topic, but that's one of the things about like Dragon Ball that always got me is the fact that Goku never got cred for it. So it was always like, and people kind of like, what if he shows up in like public and they don't know who he is, they don't give him anything. I get it with Saitama because there's stuff behind it. I mean, obviously we got stuff with Hercule, but it's only a matter of time before Saitama gets the recognition that he deserves. I don't think it's ever gonna happen with Goku, and I was really happy to see it with like Naruto and stuff. I always think that's cool when you have a character, after their long journey, and then you see them at a point where people just, once they arrive, people start, putting respect on their name. Am I reading the Dragon Ball Super manga? Yeah, I actually like what's going on right now. The last chapter, though, I was really unhappy about it because it felt way longer than it should have been. Because the thing about Dragon Ball Super, so I didn't like Dragon Ball Super until the Broly movie because before that it was literally just they did the same old arcs and then just did it again with bigger power levels. And the big power levels thing I think is dumb because look, like if you look at this arc, Moro just trashed Vegeta and Goku, right? And yet he's been on that planet for 3 days, and he hasn't wiped everybody out. Like planet fuckery has been nothing on Dragon Ball for a long time. Like he should have literally been able just to point his hand at the planet, drain it at that point. I mean, he already drained the life or the energy from people Goku and Vegeta's levels. So I mean, even in their base, they should be fine, and it should be more than enough than the planet of Namek is. I mean, come on. But I thought that whole bit with the super Namekian guy and they're kind of like hyping him up. And I was just like, it's not gonna matter. Why is anyone thinking this is gonna matter? He's not going to hold any water here. I thought that was kind of goofy, but whatever. I don't know. It wasn't a bad chapter. I just thought like it shouldn't have been so long. Like it should everything that happened in that chapter should have happened in like 10 pages, and then the rest of it was maybe like more. Maybe show like his base, like some layer that's been like in some secluded like dead planet somewhere. I don't know, something cooler. Like it literally was 45 pages of them doing stuff that was just like whatever. Let me scroll up. I missed stuff. There's that. Yeah, the Dragon Ball Super manga. Ignia says screw the power of friendship. Yeah, Ignia is just too powerful for Natsu right now. He's got to work towards it. Once he masters his E&D and his Dragon Force, and he merges them together, which should be hopefully enough to really put up there. Rak's avatar looks like he got shot twice in the eyes. Here, let me put it up there. So, YouTuber, or not YouTuber, the person on Twitter, Pixlexia, she did my avatar, and it was pretty good. She only charged $20. I really wanted to get a good idea of like, cause you see all these other YouTubers, especially like the ones that I talk to regularly. They have their own like kind of brand character that they have, and I didn't have one. I just went with my Natsu avatar, and I was fine with just staying with my Natsu avatar. But they insisted that I get my own, And I was like, okay, oh God, I didn't pick the rendered one. Hang on. And I decided to end up doing it. I talked to somebody who was all up for it. She only charged $20. So if you want to get something, it took her like a day. So you give her 20 bucks, you give her some details of what you want. You can get your own. Oh my God, this picture is so big. Oh my gosh. Hold on. It's gonna be a hot minute. Hold on. Hold on. It's gonna get here. Why is this? Oh my God, I'm grabbing the wrong pictures. Why is this so goddamn fucking enlarged? This picture should not come in automatically this big. It's not that big. Oh my God, it's huge. Which phrasing, but still, it's almost sizable enough to actually fit on the screen. Almost, almost, almost. Oh my God, I made it too big or too small. Fuck. No. I'm gonna have to start over. Hang on. Damn it! I've got distracted and now I'm pulling into do this picture stuff. Hold on. Hold on, guys. This will just be a moment, and then I'll get back to reading your comments. So just keep dropping comments and questions, and I'll get to them in this moment. Here, let me read something right now, and then I'll. So you had to choose one yandere to be stuck with forever: Juvia, Toga, and Sally. Who did you choose? Uh, I'd probably choose Sally. Sally seems really fun. Like the thing about Sally is Sally, I feel like would pull weird stuff all the time, and you'd always have something to really talk about with Sally. Oh, I think okay, it's not that big now. So here's this. If you don't look at it, I thought it was pretty cool. I had this kind of cool like the anime hair I thought was cool already, but I wanted to give it something a little spice it up because it seemed pretty standard because I couldn't think of any cool crazy anime ideas other than I was like, what if I put like one of those little anime plumages where they just have some piece of hair sticking out? And then I thought the mask was cool. I like the eye design. I like the silver sweater with the red sun. I went with kind of that Ignia chest tattoo design. And I got like this cool scarf. I wanted to combine something from Natsu and Grim because Grim was my avatar for a while, and then I started switch over to Natsu when I started doing more fairy tale content. What do you guys think? I think it's kind of cool, and then you got this spooky arm. Tell me what you guys think about it. I like it. I thought it was well worth 20 bucks. Actually, I think I paid her like $25 because they gave her a tip. I felt bad because I kept like nitpicking stuff. I don't know. I I did it willingly. She didn't strong arm me. But yeah, if you want to get your own 20 bucks, I think it's worth it. Take a day, 20 bucks, pretty good. But what do you guys think about it? I like it. I think it's pretty nice. What are your thoughts on the Tabata interview? I'm glad that I didn't read it until after the chapters hit, because some of the they had some spoilers in there. Tabata, jeez. If Hero does a second gen, I hope he makes it more interesting than Boruto. I mean, Boruto would be fine if it was a bi-weekly. It's just so freaking slow, and then the anime is like all filler. The anime is like it's legitimately like it's like 50 episodes to get to like anything actually relevant, and I couldn't take that. And then it gets right back to filler stuff. It's so boring. Aston, you are symbolic and simplistic. I like it. I like Aston. I think they're really good character dynamics. I think they're fun. Screw power scaling. What's better than Natsu? Well, it's better than Natsu one-hitting people. I mean, depends on who he's one-hitting. How far off is Vito from becoming a dark elf based on what we've seen in his? I think he was on the way, but he's not a four-leaf. He's only a three-leaf grimoire, right? Because they said four-leaf is the one that turns into a dark elf. I think that like the three leaves. I think they still probably turn into like that hysterical state. I don't think they turn into a dark elf just because he says specifically the four leaf because then it becomes a five leaf. I don't think they just grow two extra leaves. At least from what we know of. Maybe it becomes something different and it morphs into a different one. Because I'm still curious of what the origins of the diamond grimoires are, and it's obvious when we get to the Spade Kingdom, they're gonna have a spade on theirs, and when we get to the Heart Kingdom, they're gonna have hearts on their grimoires. So we'll get to that at some point, but it's definitely an aspect that I am looking forward to, and I'm very curious of what other species we're gonna find. I'm wondering actually if it would make sense because the Clover grimoires are clearly related to elves, so maybe the Diamond grimoires are related to the dwarves. That's actually I might talk about. That's a pretty good video topic. Thank you for making me think of that. I'm actually now very curious on that. And then what's it going to be? Because we might end up getting something. Because dwarves, like, what if we get each kingdom, each of the four kingdoms, has their own like mystical race that relates to them. Like the clover had the elves, the diamond has the dwarves, and then maybe like the maybe the heart has something like I don't know, vampires or some shit, treants. I don't know. I think that'd be kind of cool, and it would give an extra flair, but also a continuously big threat villain. That'd be pretty intense. I would definitely like to follow more about that now thinking about it. Yeah, Vito, I do like Vito. I mean, luckily Vito should be fine now. He seems more happy than anything than, Psycho. How is the Hot Minute's good Hot Minute? So they'll find it funny that Mercphobia looks like Jalal and Seek. I mean, his eye tattoo is different. It's still an eye tattoo. I mean, Sieg and Jalal though, they look like Magic Illusion, which is where that eye tattoo is from, which was Hiromishima's original one-shot main character called Magician. And I get annoyed that a lot of people don't know that, and they always trying to act like Seek Heart is the original and Jalal just copied it. And the thing about Seek Heart though, just kind of getting to that really fast, is Seek Heart. I mean, he had the blue hair and the eye tattoo, but obviously, like I said, the eye tattoo is it's not a Sieg original. And the fact that Sieg was more of an all around, like he had tons of elements, and Jalal has tons of elements, but he's more of the celestial body magic, whereas uh, Sieg was much more of just all around like variety. No, I didn't draw this major. There's if you've seen Pix Lexi on Twitter, she drew it for me. Thanks. I like it. I do think it's kind of cool. I really wanted to get like a base idea of the OC for my channel would look like, and then maybe later I can get another one. You can have them kind of like different versions. I'd probably get the same design, but maybe in a different art style. I do like this. I do like this one. It's simplistic yet cool. I like the simplicity of the outfit. Like he's just wearing like sweatpants and a sweater, but you have that cool symbol on the sweater. You have a very strange mask and spooky hand and that scarf, and then the odd anime hair. I think it's cool. I like it. It's got a simplistic kind of set, but with weird tweaks to it, which I do enjoy. Could be yeah. I think that wouldn't have to worry about becoming a dark elf as long as Asta's nearby because they have that good synergy. I don't think he would fall into depravity unless maybe he saw Asta seemingly die. Do you think the devil is going right now? I think he's got to go complete the Shadow Palace because he said that his stuff is complete, but there was no indication really that it changed. I think that he's just kind of speaking like, all right, we're good now, and he's gonna go up ahead and go to the top and try and finalize everything, which is where they're gonna have to stop him. Because I feel like if it was, because he says he's got his body to pick, and he's gonna have his true power. I feel like if he got it then and there, he would have had a display of it. There would have been something where he says like a word like fucking I don't know, eruption, and then you see like a volcano rise and then erupt or something crazy like that. A clear difference. There's something Tabata has always done is he's always shown the clear difference of like when someone upgrades something. Like if you look at you look at Raya pre-turning in his elf body back, and then post, like the obvious difference in power as well as the way that his magic worked. Any of the guys that got turned into an elf, anything like that where there's a note, it's been upgraded. He likes to he makes sure to display it, which is I like about Tabata. I think he's very consistent with that kind of stuff. If Natsu met Asta, would they fight first and become friends? No, I don't think they'd fight first. I think Asta would probably go along with, because Natsu's not mean. I think they'd meet and then maybe like he would see Natsu's magic and then probably be impressed by it, and then Natsu would probably be like, probably take the compliment and talk to him, and then see his magic, and they'd probably become friends. Because Asta usually only like is aggressive with people if they're dicks to his comrades or just people in general. And Natsu only seems to really have like a direct problem with somebody if they're messing with anybody in the guild or just like general dirt people in general, like. Very nice. You think Amira is actually going to give him more good fight since she should train spy? Well, no, I think she's a spy, so I think she's going to leave. I don't think she's a fighter. I mean, all she has on her is a pistol, and her power is, is turning into people and taking their and being able to copy their mindset and personality and stuff. I don't think she's going to be a fighter. Would Noelle be better friends with Lucy or Juvia? I think Noelle and Juvia would be a good, better combination, just because the way that Noelle gets very flustered easily, and then the way that Juvia is, so open with talking about like love and stuff. I think theirs would be a better dynamic. I think she'd get along with Lucy, but I think she'd have a better interaction dynamic with Juvia. What if the devil? Wait, what if the devil and Ass's demon are pieces of a whole new threat? Oh, I think that they're. I think they're gonna go more. I think Tabata's gonna go more towards the idea. You got all these demons, and they're all their own kind of like. What's the word I'm looking for? They're all manipulators, and they all got their own scheme. Because he knows that there's another demon inside of Ass's grimoire, and he doesn't. He's just like, whatever. I not mine anymore. You can have it. I don't care. He doesn't seem like enough like he's against the idea of it, but he doesn't seem pro like helping him. I think they're all kind of out for themselves. Would you like foreshadowing the final battle? I don't know. Oh, it's not going to be the final battle. There's going to be way more to come. What's up, Sammy? Is it right? If Asta fought Jalal at the Tower of Heaven instead of Natsu in his demon form, I think he would win with the current one he has, the upgraded one, because he's holding it a lot longer. If it was just normal Asta, because he can only do like one technique once he goes into that form, and I think that would screw him over, because other than Black Meteorite, he's got Black Hurricane, and the thing about though with Dragon Force is Natsu just became like so much more above Jalal. It was pretty ridiculous. And if you looked at something like compared like Tower of Heaven Jalal to like Ludros, not Ludros, wait, yeah, Ludros. I think that Jalal was definitely more powerful. I think he'd still be a threat to him, but I think Jalal would have disarmed him by at that point versus like Natsu. I think he would definitely be a threat to him though. I don't know. It's just like obviously you look at first Dragon Force Natsu versus first Demon Form Asta. Natsu seemed way more impressive and way more like just way more in general combat capable. Because Asta's was cool, but it seemed like he didn't have as much control. He could only kind of jump at him and get him. Natsu was able to hold it for a while and do multiple attacks. He was way more mobile with it. Who's your favorite Jujutsu Kaisen villain? Mahito. Mahito is my favorite character in Jujutsu Kaisen. And then Hanami. I really like Hanami too. Hanami has really grown on me. I like the fact that he's developing like you think like a good guy, where he's having these nice character moments and thinking about like learning, why he fights, like what he enjoys about fighting, but also, like he's got this nice reasoning behind why he does it in general, like he's trying to fight for all the plants and just nature. But at the same time, he acknowledges like he enjoys fighting in general because it's thrilling and fun. I like Hanami a lot. So how are you doing with My Hime? I put My Hime on the side because I I'm sorry. I started to rewatch Soul Eater and I couldn't stop. I had so much fun. But don't worry, it's still. I'm probably gonna watch it next because I don't have any other anime lined up. So I'll probably get back to watching it tonight, Andres. Because I don't have any other anime lined up, and I don't plan on getting it into any big seasonal stuff right now. I'd rather watch it something in bulk, so I'll probably watch a couple My Hime episodes tonight. And I only have like three mangas lined up. I'm almost finished with Hell's Paradise, caught up, and then I'm probably going to get to Pandora Hearts. I'm gonna read Pandora Hearts, I think, next because I do want to read it, but I just had a couple things they got fast pushed right in front of it. But I am getting to it. I'll probably start Pandora Hearts on Monday or Tuesday, because I'll definitely be finished with. I'll be caught up with Hell's Paradise today or tomorrow. I know I keep postponing My Hime, but I haven't forgotten about it, and I am definitely I am caught up on everything else that I was planning on watching other than My Hime. So My Hime is up next. Which change do you see that Black the series? Well, now he just got he got a second Fang. Asta got he got the the kind of like tattered, shadowy cloak, and he got one of his horns along, and he got another horn. So I think it's gonna just keep progressing through his body, and I'm wondering if he's gonna eventually channel it through two swords, and what the stance would be. Maybe he'll like plunge him into the ground and then channel through them. I mean, it'd be kind of weird because the whole thing is he puts that stance because he's circulating it. I don't know. I think I'd have to figure it out. Think of how he'd be able to. You'd probably have to like cross him, maybe like make an X. That'd be kind of sick, and then channel it. That'd be badass. Jujutsu Kaisen villains or Black Clover villains? What do you prefer? Oh, I talked about it before. A lot of the Black Clover villains don't feel like villains. A lot of them, they kind of just feel like more like antagonists because we know the elves weren't evil. They weren't bad. They were kind of just, on an opposing side, an opposing opinion. Uh, Jujutsu Kaisen villain. I'd probably pick Jujutsu Kaisen's villains because Mahito definitely is a villain. He's not a nice guy to any capacity. And yeah, I'm just gonna go with that because I do like the Black Clover enemies, but they just don't feel like villains to me. They feel much more like antagonists. The Devil is much more like a villain because he actually feels like evil and malefic. He doesn't feel like just an opposing character, an opposing side. He definitely feels more like a bad guy. But I really like Mahito though. Mahito's awesome. Mahito and Hanami. I'm still getting some of the names down. Like usually, if you can tell, I can tell if I'm really like into a series when I can get names down really fast. Like I just finished catching up with I speed read through all of Blue Exorcist, and I still remember almost all the I'd say a majority of the character names, and I really like that. I thought that was fun. I'm hoping I can. I'm starting to get that with Jujutsu Kaisen, but I got that unlocked with Black Clover. I got that on Hyperlock with Fairy Tail. Let's see where. Okay, I didn't miss many. Who would you have win between Natsu and Gray if Urza hadn't stopped them? Natsu would probably would have won. It depends because we don't know if his Etheria stuff would have progressed or if Gray's demon form would have progressed. Because both of them look like they could have kept going, but obviously Natsu has more hype around him with Dragon Powers and E&D, and now we know that they are merging at least at this point. So it's definitely a bigger spot for him. Do you think Urza should have been Guildmaster longer during the war? Oh, I would have preferred if they kill. The fact Makarov's still alive is amazing. I'm surprised the dude's still holding out. I don't know why he hasn't made Laxus Guildmaster. I think it's time for Laxus to be Guildmaster. And the reason I don't think Urza should have kept it is because she doesn't. I don't think she want to because she kind of seemed way too flustered by it. I don't think she has the spot to be Guildmaster. I think Laxus deserves it way more, just off of his story. I like Urza not to be constricted to because when you're the Guildmaster, you got to stay with the guild. And look at right now, Laxus was there for stuff going down, and Urza, she's out adventuring. I definitely would prefer it if it was Laxus. I mean, I mean, she didn't, I wouldn't say like a ton of time for it, but she definitely did fine. Hmm. So My Hero exists in Black Clover. What rankings would they have? I gotta get back to you on that. I'll have a much more honed for the next stream. I know I keep saying that, but for reals this time. I'm gonna start over from episode 1, and I'm probably gonna. Oh yeah, I wanted to talk to you guys really quick because I was looking at some of my videos, and you had I was looking at particularly One Piece and My Hero Academia, and I gotta be honest, I haven't been having a lot of fun. Wait, what? I just got a weird message for someone. Okay. I haven't been having a lot of fun reviewing My Hero Academia and One Punch Man, or not One Punch Man, One Piece. And I think people can tell in my tone for it. I'm enjoying them, but I just don't really care to talk to them right now. I mean, maybe when they kind of kick back up, I'll have more enthusiasm. Like it's kind of different. Like right now, Kimetsu no Yaiba is in a kind of a fun state, but it's not as exciting right now because they're doing a lot of character flashbacks and and a lot of inner monologues, which is still enjoyable to see the progression, but it's not like I can only talk about how this chapter made a character adapt his fighting capabilities so much. But then something like, oh my god, this last Hellward and Haguma chapter was crazy. Chainsaw Man was pretty nice setup, but I just not having fun talking about one or One Piece and My Hero Academia lately. So I'm gonna probably stop reviewing those at least for a bit, and then instead use the time maybe to go back to Clash profiles and do some more discussions. Like I did the explanation of how Natsu's E and D power and Dragon Force combo works. I just did the one on the tweet from Hiroshima about Natsu and Lucy. Getting it's on the horizon of them being together. What do you guys think about that? Would you guys prefer I get back to take some of the time out and do more general discussions and rather than reviewing One Piece and My Hero Academia? I think it'd be better, and I think I would like to do some Clash profiles again. I think that'd be fun because they they don't take a ton of time, but they are fun to talk about, and I think they're universally fun to watch. Just because you don't have to be going in with you could have no idea who the character is, and just be cool to seeing some of the stuff about him. So I'll probably get to that. I mean, what do you guys think though? Yeah, I'm probably gonna. Andres likes it. Yeah, bring back the Clash profiles. Yeah, I'll probably get that. I'll probably get back to working on that this week. Um, I just got to decide who I want first. I think I might maybe jump to. I'll either probably go with like Natsu or Ignia or someone. Obviously, Ignia hasn't had a ton, so I'll probably do someone like Ignia just to kind of look at him to where he's at right now, or maybe Zareth. I'd probably do a Fairy Tail one. Yeah, I'm probably this is what I've been thinking about. I'm thinking about the last few days because I'm just like I was thinking about the last chapters after reading after the I think Thursday and reading the My Hero Academia and One Piece, and I was just like thinking about because I read Black Clover and I was excited to talk about it. I did the review, and I was thinking about like Chainsaw Man, Jujutsu Kaisen, and how much fun I was looking forward to how those were gonna go. And then I read the One Piece and My Hero Academia videos, and I was just or chapters, and I was like, I don't even want to talk about these. They had some interesting stuff, but I'm not that interested. They had interesting stuff, but they're stuff that I wasn't interested in reviewing is really what I want to say. Oh, Anime Storm, 100 years. The 100 years quest won't be animated. Probably not. I don't know because this is final season. If it does an anime, I don't think it'll be weekly. I think it'd be like a seasonal. That's just what I'm guessing. I feel like it'd be seasonal, and then maybe each season, like every time is like a different dragon god. There's possibility. I would prefer that because then it would also mean that animation would be better. I mean, fucking the anime is it's not Black Clover levels of inconsistent, but still, it's like the last two episodes I thought were pretty nice to watch, but some of the ones before that, like I was really upset. I liked the moment where Natsu went Fire Dragon King mode against Zareth, but like the fight itself was like they didn't extend it out. They didn't have any like big really cool shots other than like when Natsu and Zareth's like magics collided and you had that little short explosion scene. I thought that was cool, but other than that, also Raid. What's up, Anime Storm? Where are you coming from? You're raiding? How's it going though? Oh, I missed some comments. Yeah, I'll scroll up. Let me see. Urza versus Gray. Honestly, I think Gray would win at this point. Uh, let me see. Where was it? Still trying to call it Black Clover Monk. Yeah, Black Clover Monk is doing pretty awesome. What do you think the White Mage's next move will be? I feel like she's gonna move to another guild, and when they come back, they're just gonna be like these wiped out people. Urza or Marileona for Black Clover, who's the best? Sorry, I can't spawn it. Marileona and I like Marileona more. I think Marileona is more entertaining than Urza, but Urza I think is a better character, obviously because she has a lot more progression and story behind her. But I think Marileona is more entertaining just because she's wild as fuck. Makarov, yeah, Makarov should have died a long time ago. Would you be an elf or dragon star? I'd be a dragon star for sure. How do you see this fight Hellward and Haguma going? I don't know. I talked about that in my video. I'll probably put that out tomorrow. I'll probably put the Jujutsu Kaisen after the stream. But the Hellward and Haguma chapter, I have no idea. I have no idea where it's gonna go. Because I saw that the rankings for it weren't very good, but obviously the new style for for Shonen Jump with all digital is going to be way different, and I'm guessing their standards for what passes and that kind of like cutoff point and like that axe point will be different, and uh, I'm worried that it's getting to that dangerous point where the author's like going in heavy in order to maybe get more attention and more popular. Let me take my character off the screen. I don't know why I still have that on there. And so I'm worried about whether or not what is kind of like crazy stuff he's gonna potentially do in order to maybe grab some more attention. Really quick while I scroll up, I really appreciate anybody who hasn't yet if they would hit thumbs up the stream, hit the like button, and really like it if you would do such a nice thing for me. Anyway, let me see. I noticed how August is kind of similar to Yamamoto from Bleach. Well, they're powerful old men, really strict to the rules, and are really opposing. Yeah, the thing about Yamamoto has way more going on for him than August. August got shafted for real. I miss the guy. Since Shiki doesn't have a dark power to keep in check, do you think he'll get infected with a virus that misses? Oh no, I think his personality is like a dark thing because he doesn't have normal people skills. Like I talk about, he has like no real control. I think he's just kind of like the thing that makes him different. Like Natsu, you piss him off, he's gonna beat somebody up and then be done with him. He's gonna beat the shit out of him until he's like, all right, we're good. Shiki, I think would like when you saw against Liga, I think Shiki would have beat him until he was dead. Like I don't think Shiki has that kind of like at that point like a I'm going too far kind of like in his mindset. Do you think that Yami fits the older mentor role for Asta like Shanks? Yeah, he definitely does, for sure. Asta has one. It's Yami. Yami's that's from Sammy's server. Natsu weak F. No way. Natsu's awesome. I mean, he's got way more powerful from this from this power up. And I want to talk about Ignia, and I'm gonna do a video just on Ignia soon. But the fact that I think he knows about E&D, and I think he wanted Natsu to eat his flames from the fact that I think he wanted to jumpstart the dragon seed and the demon seed inside of him, try and make him further progress. So Natsu, even though this is a temporary power up, so Natsu in general is further to this point like naturally, because once those seeds merge and he becomes a demon dragon, he's going to he by default I think will be more powerful. And I also need to do a video because I wanted to talk. I'll talk about it very briefly because I want to do something on it and just the importance of Gray progressing. And it's not just like everyone's gonna get more power. Obviously, people are gonna get more powerful as the story goes. I think Gray though needs to become more powerful because this way that if Natsu loses control, he can use his demon slaying magic to try and quell him. Is there any other no, I already read that. I don't think I missed any other comments. Yuki Kaiji is Todoroki, also voicing Ice type Leon and Soulburner from Yu-Gi-Oh! That's awesome. I love Soulburner. I need to get back to Reigns. Like I watched season 1 of Reigns and I was like, all right, that's fine. A lot of season 1s are like set up and fun stuff. You got a lot of cool characters. I don't really care too much for Playmaker, and then I got to Soulburner. I really like Soulburner. I thought it was cool. Which anime do you think is GOAT right now? Well, I'm not watching a lot of anime. That's what I was talking about. I've just been like the only animes I've been keeping up with is Fairy Tail and Black Clover, just because obviously I'm already caught up with the series and I want to see certain scenes animated. I wanted to get into some more anime soon because I've always been more of a manga than anime guy, but I want to get to some at some point. I am gonna watch the Kimetsu no Yaiba anime because that looks sick. It looks like it's gonna be it's animated so well. It just looks crisp. But I also, like I said, I also wanted to get in some series that I haven't read the manga for that I'll watch the animes. Do you think Shiki surpassing a grab use like Blue Note and time skip? Like, yeah, I think he'll. I mean, he's going to get more powerful. The thing is, we don't know the extent of like what character is like in the larger scheme of Eden Zero. Because like I talked about it a little bit before, I think there will be more of like big power stuff depending on their ships, because the ship in general, I think is going to be a really big aspect for Eden Zero of what people's ships are like, because I think that'd be more interesting than just doing normal power level progression. And I'm hoping Shiki's is more of like advancement through mobility, like because gravity, maybe he can make like a wormhole and do like short range teleportation. Because like I talked about, like Haru was more of like variety, Natsu was more of like dead on assault, and Shiki is much more centered around mobility, and I'm hoping that progresses more for it. Do you read Soul Eater? If so, it's your favorite character series. I did read Soul Eater. Um, I there's the obvious ones because like Black Star is not nearly as good in the anime as he is in the manga. He becomes less annoying in the anime, but he never becomes like really likable. In the manga, he becomes very likable. I thought he became really badass after the time skip. Um, Kid, obviously, like the whole main cast I like, but I also really liked Killick. I liked Killick a lot. Um, what's the guy's name? What's the chainsaw guy's name? I forgot his name. I always forget. It's like he's got a weird Japanese name. Also like Justin Law. Um, Spirit was pretty sick as well. There's a lot of people from Soul Eater I liked. There's not a lot of characters I disliked from Soul Eater. Which Spriggan members do you like and which do you my favorite design of the Spriggan is Wall because I thought Wall was just in general was really cool because his magic was around analysis and then like interchanging parts, but in reality he was just like a living arsenal robot, and I thought that was really cool, very standout for Fairy Tail. My least favorite is Nineheart because when he saw Natsu, he never made a copy. He never made a Historia of Mard Gear, and I hate him for it. He's still alive though. He can redeem himself in my eyes. He could redeem himself if when him and Invo eventually get out of prison. Anime Storm. Natsu is not weak as fuck. How dare you? Not Yami for Wizard King. Yami won't be Wizard King because I don't think, even though the thing is he's strong enough to be Wizard King, and Marileona I still think is the strongest of the Clover captains right now. But I don't think she'd be Wizard King based off her personality. I think the best person to be Wizard King right now is Fuego Leon. I think Fuego Leon is the best spot to be Wizard King. Just based off his personality, I think as well. He's powerful enough, he's got the personality, and they already have somebody leading the Crimson Lions. Sakura can beat Natsu? That's not true. Sakura would get her ass kicked. Wait, didn't Ignil say that if both seeds merged, he'd die? So he said he'd die in that first instance, and then like the next chapter where they're talking about, he said that he wouldn't be able to live as a human anymore. I think he meant die as in like Natsu as like a persona and like who he was as he is now would die and he becomes someone new. And you're seeing that now because he's the thing about the Ethereus side we saw when he was against Gray is he's much darker and much more serious and much more like honed onto whatever he's doing, and it'd be it's very much not like Natsu, and I think that's definitely like pulled away from that. Ignia versus Mercephobia, if that's right. Ignia I think would win. Ignia legitimately seems more powerful than Mercephobia. Obviously Mercephobia was only going 50% around half, but I feel like that Ignia is just way more powerful because even if he was going half, Igni just went right through that dude's like sea in that maelstrom he made, and it was just like, yo, whatever. Is Sammy still here? What's up, Sammy? If you're still here, Natsu's a fighter, Haru's a mage, and Shiki's a thief. I don't know if I'd really say that Haru is a mage. I don't know. Maybe like I think Haru is more like a paladin because of the way that you had like Million Suns and Revolt. Maybe like a paladin. That'd be pretty cool. You think Eden Zero main villain is gonna be a machine similar to Patri? I think main villain again. That's really hard because main villain is gonna be so much further along the line because we don't even know what a main villain would be like because we don't know all the characters. Maybe it'd be one of those like Knights of the Sakura Blossom, whatever they were called. The big statues. Obviously, it's a little bit hard. I feel like the final villain. Oh, hang on. Get down from there, you goofy cat. What are you doing? Come here. Come here. You want to say hi to the stream? Come here. Come here. Hang on. Say hi to the live stream. Say hi. Say hi. Be a good cat. I don't know if you guys could hear her. She was definitely staying low. She's a huge tsundere cat. And it's awful because she likes to wake me up. She let me sleep in today, so I was pretty happy. But let me get back to it. What was I saying? Yeah, it's a little bit hard to determine final villain for Eden Zero because we don't know who exactly it would be. Like I'm hoping it'd be like another maybe somebody else that was gunning to be Demon King, or maybe somebody in the government, in that space government. That'd be pretty sick. Again, it's a little bit hard at this point because we don't know. Maybe Ziggy, maybe somebody. Cause, like, could you imagine if somebody like found Ziggy's lifeless robot body and then like reprogrammed it and like just put stuff back in his head? Reiner Loot Berserker. Oh, I don't know how powerful that guy is. Is he? I kind of know a little bit about him. He like deletes stuff that he looks at or disintegrates them or something. I would have to watch the series because it also depends. Like, does he use magic or something similar to it, where Natsu could burn? And Yami versus Asta and Yami versus Natsu. Well, Yami would beat Asta and Natsu would beat Yami for sure. Natsu would burn up like any of Yami's attacks. The only thing he really has would be like Dimension Slash, which Natsu would just dodge. It's linear. You know how one of Asta's swords can absorb magic? Wouldn't it be cool for its anti-magic cloak to reflect the details? That'd be kind of cool. Well, I'm wondering if we're gonna see anything like that. If maybe like his form has any of their abilities. I don't know. I'm kind of cool with it just being the swords. Well, he doesn't also have it anymore, which is kind of weird. I wonder if he's gonna get it back from Licht at some point. Who's your favorite of the vice captains you've seen so far? Vice captains. I gotta say, let me think. I like Kirsch. I think Kirsch is surprisingly entertaining for a character. I like him. I think he's funny. Who else are vice captains? Yeah, Langris. Sol isn't. No, Sol's not a vice captain, is she? I don't think so. I can't think of any of the vice captains, so I feel like it must be Kirsch because I can't think of them. How about Astral Trinity from Trinity 7? I don't remember who that is. You gotta go with someone I know. I mean, I'd have to reread some stuff or just watch series in general. Just give me like a shonen or some shit. Because I've been on a huge shonen kick because I've been catching up with a lot of stuff. Like I'm reading. Well, yeah, Blue Exorcist is shonen, and then what's its tits? Hell's Paradise is shonen. Who's your? Yeah, I read that. I can imagine a robot actually wanting revenge on humans. Yeah, I can see that. A robot or somebody like maybe like a man-made Demon King, like somebody wanted to replicate Ziggy, like whoever made Ziggy made another one. That'd be kind of cool. That'd be pretty sick actually. Shiki should flip his shit if that happened. Yeah. It asked that kept the Demon Swallowers three sword style. That'd be weird. Well, I'm wondering. I don't know. I'm wondering what exactly it's gonna be like when Asta has all the swords. I like his first sword the most for sure. Do you think Homura is Shiki's second rival while Jin is his main rival? I don't know. I don't think either of them really are his rivals yet. Because he also said he doesn't want to fight anybody that he sees as a friend. Which character in My Hero Academia and Black Clover do you hate? In Black Clover, who do I hate? I don't like Soul very much. I don't find her very entertaining. I think she's kind of annoying. In My Hero Academia, uh, hmm. I don't like Shirogeki Bad Touch Over. I think he's kind of lame. I think he's kind of disappointing. Obviously he's gonna progress, but as of right now, as of the current chapter, I think he's really lame. Obviously that will probably change because he's supposed to be like a big upcoming villain. Dragon God Natsu versus Snake Man Luffy. Natsu would murder Luffy. That's not even a fight. You wouldn't even need Dragon God Natsu. Like Dragon Force Natsu would one shot him. Like Albreath Arc Fire Dragon King Mode Natsu would fucking mutilate Luffy. So that's not a contest. I'm even like even the partial dragon form that fought in Dragon Cry is so much further ahead of anyone in One Piece. It's not even a fight. I haven't read all the Hiroshima interviews, so I'll get to that. So I can't. I only know about the one that he had about the Natsu and Lucy. Should Tabata have an elf spirit residing inside Asta, but his lack of magic and anti-magic keep him awakening religiously? I like Asta as he is, where I really hope he doesn't like change it so Asta, has something special about him. I like that he's a nobody. I didn't like that they changed that with Naruto, where Naruto was actually, like born into the spot being a reincarnation of whichever one of the Sage of Six Paths kids. I didn't like that. I don't want them to do that with Asta. I want them to leave him how he is. I would really dislike it if he did that. Like there's always the fact that characters find out they have something special to them, you find out who they're related to, or what weapon or power they have that is a bigger deal than one thought. But the thing about Asta is, and what was Naruto, is that their whole thing is they're underdogs and nobodies. And though Naruto was, he had Minato as his dad and Kushina, that wasn't as relevant because it didn't make him good from the start, but instead it became like the child of a prophecy, and he was destined to go up that way. I think it really hurt. I think it really hurt a lot of stuff in the series, and at least in the way that it was laid out. And I don't want that to happen with Asta. I really don't want that to happen with Asta. I hope Asta stays the way he is for sure. I don't know. Thoughts on Yuno x Charmy? I like Charmy. I think he's cute. The thing is, who else is gonna end up with Yuno right now? Because Yuno doesn't have any other. The thing is, Yuno only has like the one real love interest, potential character, and Asta's got his own harem, winning it heavy. Vesta and Yuno did fight. Now who to win? Uh, well, I was inclined to say Yuno recently, but now Asta is progressed even further with his power, and clearly it shows that the progressions have them on equal standings. So it's really hard to really gauge that now. It's because a lot of the time in the series they've been equal, and and their styles really are the opposite. You have one ranged and one close combat. You have one that's got like attacking from multiple directions versus head on. It's it's definitely hard. Mineta is he's goofy, but he's not that bad. I don't think he's terrible. I don't like Bad Touch because he feels like he does nothing. He just feels like he's just there. Ice Ice Double Gray versus Sasuke. Sasuke I think is way more powerful right now. Oh, I'm wondering, did Sasuke keep the power he had when he fought? Because he had Sage power. Well, he still has the Rinnegan, so shouldn't he? Because I think he's stronger than Naruto right now. I don't know. I'll check that out. I feel like he's. I think Gray will end up stronger because Sasuke has already reached his end line, and Gray and all of them are obviously still progressing. I think Gray might end up stronger, but right now Sasuke's stronger. Ex Asta, yeah. Magic Carp can totally one shot Natsu. No, quit it. Do you think Nazo would be the next Wizard King? I don't think so. I mean, I know that I know that Tabata really likes Nozzle, but I think Fuegoleon has a better spot to be Wizard King. I think he's got a better chance. I think it would make more sense. So when Lucy summoned the Celestial Spirit King in Tartarus arc, was she technically the strongest Fairy Tail mage in the arc besides Natsu? I mean, at the time, if you exclude Natsu and Gray, I think she would. And well, Gildarts wasn't in that arc. In that arc, besides Natsu and Gray, Lucy was just well. Yeah, but it wasn't like a normal technique. Obviously, the Celestial Spirit King was stronger than like Urza and people of her caliber. And then Dragon Force Natsu was stronger than he was, and so was Gray. Gildarts versus Kaido. I think that's a closer match. I'll give it to Gildarts right now because he's got hacks, and Kaido. We don't really know anything about Kaido other than that, like he's very durable. But obviously, once he got disassembled, it'd be over. Because if he's got nothing else besides just being like a big, powerful guy with who's durable and no special aspects to his powers, he'd get disassembled and his durability would drop to like piss poor, and then Gildarts would just go crushing him. Because Natsu wasn't that powerful when he fought him on Sirius Island, but the fact that he was able to take out the little disassembled versions with little like swipes of his cape, no magic, no nothing involved, it's a massive drop. And there's no way that after disassembling Kaido that him, if Gildarts went serious, and he wouldn't damage him. I think he could hurt him like in his normal self, but probably not enough to take out Kaido. But the disassembly would take out Kaido, I think, at that point forward. What if Charmy and Asta were blood siblings? I don't want Asta to be a dwarf, though. That's what I'm saying. I don't want him to really end up as some special bloodline. I like him that I want him just to be some just guy with a defunct body, and then he didn't have magic. And you had that work hard every day, keep going kind of like layout. Gildart, Natsu X Gray. You didn't spell Gray right, unless you mean Black Clover Gray. Gildarts versus Snake Man. Again, Gildarts. I think Gildarts. The thing with it is not a lot of people in not a lot of people in. My cat, get down from there. Quit getting up there. Here. She keeps getting up on my bookshelf. Uh, not a lot of people have like that level of hacks in One Piece. Like the disassembly is a pretty broken thing that Gildarts has, and Luffy doesn't have a counter to it. I mean, he could, as long as he can predict it and see it coming with his hockey, but I think all it would really take is that one, and then it's over. Because it's not like his future sight hockey is all powerful. He can still get hit by stuff clearly, and Gildarts is a very smart fighter. We saw that in the in Sirius Island. He knows how to use his power to go against it. Luffy versus Luck. Luck would get smashed. Luffy would completely destroy him. Irene versus August. August would win. August is way stronger. I mean, he was the leader of the Spriggan 12. If Natsu was in the Black Bulls, how do you think Noel, Yami, Magna, the rest would interact with him? I think it would be very similar. It's him and he has a very similar kind of layout with Yami, wanting to get rough and be vicious. But unlike say Asta's like all up for like because he's got mad respect for Yami. I think unlike I don't think anybody in the Black Bulls have that personality where of Natsu that if Yami gets that threat on, Natsu would just go with it and try to fight him. All right, let me wrap up the stream. We've been a little over an hour and 20 minutes, and just kind of read these last couple comments. And like I said before, if you would like to, I'd appreciate if you thumbs up the stream and subscribe if you haven't. I'm probably gonna start. I'm gonna wrap it up a little early, like I said, because I want to start getting on. I want to start maybe like getting a Clash profile ready, as well as like I said, I want to do a video on Igni and Gray, as well as I wanted to talk about in general like the fact that there's going to be more Black Clover grimoires out there now, and from the last chapter Black Clover, which I think is pretty sick. Let me read the last couple though. The devil was speaking about how the devil in Essus Grimoire should possess him before he dies, the foreshadowing for the end of the arc. Well, we know that the creature in Asta's Grimoire already wanted to possess him. He tried it in the first time that that Asta was going to go into his anti-magic form, because he his original thing was he's like, give me your body and I'll defeat him for you, and Asta wouldn't let him. So he definitely was trying to, but I'm wondering if maybe their relationship, he'll end up kind of just like being much more cool with Asta because of that. Maybe like have some give him a little respect for what he did, which would be pretty cool. I think that'd be pretty nice to roll up on him. Where do you engage the Demon King's powers in its prime? Again, it's hard to really gauge because we don't know like the ceiling of like if we saw like a really powerful character show like Drac and Joe. If we saw Drac and Joe show up and he said something about like regarding Ziggy's power, it'd be easier to kind of gauge it. But we have no idea. We've only seen really like people around Shiki that shows like display levels of strength. So it's a little bit hard to engage. It could easily be like destroying a city or blowing up a mountain or blowing up a planet. We don't know. Mardgear versus Asta. Mardgear would maul Asta. Don't do that. Don't put it that. That's two of my boys. Mardgear would slaughter him. That'd make me sad. Gildarts versus Irene. Irene would beat Gildarts. Unless he seduced her. Do you like Boruto? I'm alright with Boruto. I don't. You mean the character or the show? Well, both of them. This Boruto the series and Boruto the character, I'm alright with. All right. Yeah, I already read that. Yes. Wait. If Asta was in the Fairy Tail Guild, how would everyone interact with him? I think they'd like him. Asta's a really nice guy. Asta's a good kid. He's got a good head on his shoulders. He respects people. He's very friendly. He doesn't seem to really want to mess with people just for chuckles. He seems to genuinely really like talking to people and very friendly, very just very nice to be around. So that'd be pretty sick. I would like to see that. That'd be nice. Yeah, Boruto the show. I wish they didn't have so much goddamn filler. Like I want to. I keep saying I want to get into Boruto's anime because I like what's his tits? Gaara's son I think is really cool looking, and he's got like that cool iron dust power. Like he just has like this big metal dust that he carries around. I think that's pretty cool, but it's so much filler. I just don't want to. Anime World versus DC. DC would win. I don't think they don't have a lot of stuff like crazy upper level like conceptual like cosmics and stuff. Like the top guy in DC is the writer, so he would just be like you put him in that fight, he's gonna erase the characters literally by like erasing them on paper and like erasing the plot of them doing anything. How do you think the demon and As's grimoire would interact with this devil? I don't know because we've only seen him a couple of times. He seems cool. He doesn't seem that bad of a guy, to be perfectly honest. He didn't even seem bad when he was talking to Asta. He's just like, hey, let me help you, but I want your body, and so I could be have a physical body again. I think we're gonna see I still think we're gonna see an interaction between them soon. Anyway, that's it for this. Wait, yeah, I already read that. That's it for this stream. I'm going to, like I said, I'll start doing some Clash profiles. I'll get back to it, and I'll probably do the first one. Getting back to it, I'll probably do a fairy tale. What happened to my moths? I don't know. I switched over to have a different format. DC fairy tale and OP versus DS Dark Souls. I don't know. I just kind of like moved to a different format. Well, I don't know. I'll get to it eventually. Yeah, see you later, guys. I'm gonna get off here. Let me see what Lennox Lewis is saying. You mean DS Dark Souls? I'm kind of confused on that one. Or do you mean DC? I don't understand. I don't understand. What are you saying? Yeah, I'll get some Clash profiles. Like I'd rather save the time and do more stuff like that I actually enjoy and you guys enjoy than me just going through the motions of like My Hero Academia and One Piece chapters. It just seems more enjoyable for everybody. Oh, Dragon Ball Super. Oh, Dragon Ball. Dragon Ball would win. They got like lots of like universal people. I mean, Zeno is like at least able to like point his hand and erase a universe. They don't have anybody like that. Other than that, so yeah, thanks for you guys for showing up, and hopefully you guys could spread the word. I'll put out a new video probably. I'm about to put up my new Jujutsu Kaisen review because I actually really liked that chapter. I thought it was fun, and then probably start working towards doing a Clash profile as well as a discussion video. Other than that, see you guys later.